right now, right now. What's up, everybody? Welcome to 2021. Last year kind of flew by. I don't know. They say the older you get, the years go by faster. I'm starting to think it's true. Because I remember when I was a kid, it seemed like it took forever to get from, one birthday to the next or one Christmas to the next. Now it's like, what? What are you talking about? I just had a birthday. But yeah, I'm good. Glad to see everybody here. I'll let you keep up with what's going on. I've been working really hard on February, booking guests and getting everything in lined up for that. For those of you unfamiliar, that's Video a Day February. This will be our fourth annual event. For 28 days, you have a different live stream or upload just every single day. This year's theme is self love. So hopefully, those of you who are not yet subscribers to this channel will become one so you can participate in that and get notifications when the new stuff is uploaded. Tonight's show is a relationship advice column. The people send in their letters in advance. I will read them to you, and when you hear them, I'm hearing them for the very first time. So it's a very interesting kind of off the cuff show. Sometimes I think, oh, I hear it later. So I could have said something different, but it is what it is. And those of you who wrote in letters, be sure to listen to me as well as check out what's in the chat stream because the ladies often have some really good input or another perspective. I might not agree with it, they might not agree with me, but that's fine. Just put it together and pull out what works for you. Okay, so let's get started. We have question. Oh wait, I forgot. Let me see how many questions we got today. 21 questions. Okay, that's one. Little sis, in the show description below, you will see a link, and it's to the submission form. Just click it. It'll say "Get Advice." Click that link, and it'll pull up the form. And that's in every What the Fuck Tuesday show description. You'll find it pretty much in every show description for the last couple of years. I've been putting it in there. All right. Question number one. This is a female, 31 to 39, from Knoxville, Tennessee. I don't consider myself materialistic. I'm in my early 30s, and I'm in a relationship with a man who's 47. That's kind of old, who doesn't have a car. We've been living together for 2 years, and I met him riding a bicycle. He said he would get a car someday, but he has not saved one penny and seems to not have any motivation to get his own car. I have my own car and I've let him use it, and I drive him to work since we work close by. I pay for my own car every month for insurance and gas. Here's my issue. My boyfriend has a son from a previous relationship who's almost 18. The son doesn't work and doesn't have a car either. The boyfriend is against him working because he says he needs to focus on school. A while ago, his son started dating a girl long distance. She lives about an hour away, and my boyfriend used to take my car to take his son to see this girl. And now the son wants to get picked up. And I feel like my boyfriend should figure it out and not use my car. I don't want him spending up my mileage. His son's problem shouldn't be mine. Not only does he agree his son going all the way there without transportation, but he also hands him money to take the girl out. Since he doesn't want his son working, he pays for their dates. Is this normal to you? I don't think he's teaching his son the value of money and how to be an adult. Anyway, he's mad at me right now because I didn't want him to pick up his son all the way there in my car. He called me heartless and said I'm starting to know what type of woman I'm with. He wants me to feel bad. But why is it my problem his son wants to be in a long distance relationship? I know this is not a reason to dump a man, but I'm sick of him not taking responsibility and not doing anything to get himself a car. He always says he'll do it and then he never does. He doesn't know how to manage money and he has no savings. What do you think? Okay, let's rewind here right quick. Okay, you met him riding a bicycle. Hmm. I would have just let him keep on going by. I have a bicycle. It's right there next to me. But it's like I'm not going to use that as my sole and primary means of transportation. That's something to do for fun and exercise. Okay. Yeah, my little blue bicycles is right there. Now, as far as you letting him use your car, a normal guy, knowing that he does not have a vehicle, would have been helping with expenses for the one that he helps, that he drives. The fact that you're still buying all the gas and paying for all the insurance and paying all the car note means he's just using you. Okay? He's not contributing. Now, you say that this situation is not a reason to break up. Oh, it absolutely is. You're looking at it like it's only about the car. It's not about the car. It's about his lack of responsibility, his lack of accountability, his lack of contributing fairly to the relationship with his resources. It's about him spoiling his son rotten. It's about him trying to guilt trip and gaslight and blame shift you for not taking responsibility for his life. That's what it's about. And then plus he lies. You know, he says he's going to do stuff and he doesn't do it. He basically doesn't come through for you. And he does you say he doesn't know how to manage money and he has no savings and he's 47? This is a bum, a dusty bum. Get rid of him. I don't know what you're doing here. You're only in your early 30s. This man's on the downstroke to 50 and he don't have shit. He don't have nothing. Okay, so I don't know how you're looking at this so differently from me, but I'm telling you, this is a waste of time. You like his mother, okay? Just taking care of a big grown man. Get rid of this fool, please. And he's not. He said seriously. He's like, look at the video on low value and high value men. This guy is so low. He's like underneath the house, like foundation level. And he's not contributing anything. What, some dick? That's it? That's all you getting out of this? And some conversation. You can get conversation from your girlfriends, and you can get the D from anybody. Okay, so what is he bringing to your life that you can't get somewhere else? That's so stellar and wonderful. You get rid of this bucket head. Indigo say he's underground with the coffins. Dang. I don't, this seriously, please get rid of him. Okay. He's just using you. Question number 2, male 22 to 30 in the San Antonio, Texas area. I met my girlfriend about 4 months ago. We are both 24. I love her, and for the most part, I think we have a great relationship. There's just been something that has occurred semi recently that has been bothering me. I met her mom about 2 months ago, 2 months after we started dating. So that was 2 months ago. She's divorced, and for them know she hasn't been dating someone. Her mom's in her mid 40s. The first time we met, we went over to her mom's place and had dinner, and it was really nice. She was super nice and welcoming. We had a lot of laughs. There was something odd, though. Many of the comments she was making seemed to me inappropriate, and it sounded like she was flirting a lot. Every time she said something, I look over to my girlfriend. She didn't pay any attention to it or seem to make anything of it. I figured it might just be me, and I didn't want to make anything of it, so I didn't bring it up. Since then, though, we've seen her mom several other times. I feel like most of these times she has made sexual comments towards me or outright flirted. Some examples are, thank you for wearing your tight pants when you come to see me. Or, I can see my daughter is a lucky girl. She's even said, if I wasn't so old, I'd be jumping on top of you and taking you to my bedroom right now. Wow. There's been other things for some reason. These are the ones come to mind. My girlfriend laughed when she said some of this stuff or even agreed with her. She just seemed to think it's funny and doesn't get offended. I wasn't going to bring it up if she didn't care about it, but recently something else happened where I figured I need to. Usually when we leave, I give her mom a hug. This time I went to do so. She gave me a kiss on the cheek and then one on the mouth. I didn't kiss back as I was super confused. When I was walking away, she gave me a tap on my butt as well. Once again, my girlfriend was right by when this happened and she didn't say anything. On the ride home, I asked her if she noticed what her mom had done, and she said, yeah, casually, and asked what the problem was. I told her that this felt inappropriate and like harassment. I said it seemed like she'd been coming on to me. She laughed and acted like I was crazy. She insisted that it was just her mom being nice, and that is her sense of humor. I then brought up all of the flirting and dirty comments. She said the same thing about them. She promised that she knew her mom and knows that she doesn't actually trying to hook up with me. I don't really know what to think about everything now. I don't know if I'm taking things too seriously or what. It still seems weird to me. I have no attraction to her mother, so I don't want any of the ladies to accuse me of having a fantasy of being with her. I don't know if I need to talk with her mom or explain to my girlfriend about how I feel again. I don't want to overreact and cause problems. I also don't want my girlfriend to discount my feelings and concern. What should I do? Okay, look, where's your nuts? Where are they? Where did they go? This is ridiculous. You're 24 years old. You're a grown man. Okay, now you decide if you want somebody. You know what's really bothering me about this is your girlfriend is acting so stupid. If, okay, say the situation was flipped and this was your you were the girl, and her mom was her father, and her father was kissing you on the lips as a girl and patting you on the butt and saying, "Oh, if I jumped you and took you in the bedroom right now, or thanks for wearing that, I don't know, tight shirt, so that, because it looks really good." Okay, everybody would have a real clear picture of what that was like and how creepy and old, disgusting and gross that would be. But because it's this girl's mother, and a woman to a young man, a lot of people want to, just do the, kind of winky thing and think it's okay. It's never okay. Okay, it's never okay. You decide who touches you. You decide what you want to hear, and you decide how people talk to you. That is your right, and those are your boundaries, and you need to stand up for them. So this is what you tell your girlfriend. You're gonna say, "Look, I don't care what you and your mother like, and what you think is okay. I don't fucking like it. I don't want your mother touching me. I don't want your mother talking to me in any kind of way that sounds like it's crossing boundaries, like she's trying to get at me. No matter whether you think it's going to happen or not, that's the way it's coming across. I don't like it. The very next time that it happens, we're breaking up. Because I refuse to be treated like I'm a piece of meat and touched inappropriately and talked to like that. You and your mother on some freak shit, and I'm just not down with it. Okay, and then get ready because in a week or so, you're going to be broken up. And that's the good thing. I don't know what kind of situation they have here where their boundaries of appropriateness are so blurred. It just sounds like both of them have been through something very inappropriate. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be delicate here, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Because a lot of people, when they have been in situations where they've been inappropriately touched and talked to like that, it's normalized to them. That's normalized behavior. They don't see the big deal about it. And so they aren't really um, they don't have the same boundaries and limits that a person who was raised normally would about their body and the things that people say to them. So you, sir, are going to have to buck up. And I don't know if you cuss or anything like that. You trying to be nice because your girlfriend's mama and all that old shit right there. But you better say, "Look here, you old bitch. Don't be putting your hands on me. I'm not interested in your dried up ass coochie. I don't want nothing from you." Okay? And it might just have to go there because she just seemed like she just don't want to take a hint. And long as you keep acting confused and embarrassed, she's going to keep upping the ante because that's what idiots do. So you're going to have to break her off something. And like I said, I normally, I hate to talk about because that's not something that I normally want to do is talk about people's age because I'm old myself. But, sometimes you just got to pull that out when people don't be acting their age. What's that thing say? They act in their shoe size. Okay, so she's acting, she's not acting like somebody's mother in her mid 40s. She's not respecting her daughter, nor is she respecting you, nor is she respecting herself. So this is when all them kid glove things and all them politeness rules of society just, just go out the window and you just let loose. Because listen, one of my boyfriend's fathers had said some shit like that to me. And watch how fast I tore their house up. It tore his ears up. Ears would be bleeding. But you're gonna have to do that. Okay, start with your girlfriend and tell her what's gonna happen, what the repercussions are if this continues, and then the very next time it does, and the mother says something to you, stand up and go smooth the fuck off on her. Oh, is that Prince? Okay. Oh, that's right. Thank you. That's what Mrs. Robinson wasn't dating the daughter. This is different in that situation. She's just disgusting. She's like an embarrassment to middle-aged women. Let's move on to question number 4. This is from a young man in the 22 to 30 age group out of Boston. This is a strange one. Oh God, not another one. I matched with a girl on Tinder and we've been on a few dates. I'm pretty selective about who I date. When I saw her profile on Tinder, I knew she was really beautiful, but wouldn't be the kind of girl I'd normally go out with. I tend to go for the more geeky types, but I'm not sure why. I said I would give it a chance though, as she has some very nice things written in her bio. The first couple of dates went very well, and she turned out to be really nice and seemed to be very into me. On the third date, she invited me over to hers for a movie. It was always going well, and then she kind of started kissing and fooling around. She was actually very forward, and I found it hard to pry her off me. It was nice, but I didn't find myself getting hugely turned on by it. Don't get me wrong, I did enjoy it, but I felt much stronger attraction with other women. She even asked me if we should go up to her bedroom, and I politely declined. I didn't intend on sleeping with her that night, and I know that if someone I was really attracted to, I would have found it very difficult to turn her down. I'm not sure why I'm feeling like this. She lives a very different lifestyle to mine. I'd be more the geeky type, whereas she would be the total opposite. I'm very technically minded, where she's very creative. Her lifestyle is also alien to me because she's a model, where I sit at a desk from 9 to 5. I'm wondering if her confidence and attractiveness has subconsciously intimidated me. I could be talking nonsense, but I just don't know why I wouldn't be all over her when so many other guys would be. I want to give her a chance though because she's a really nice girl. Is there anything I can do to get over what I think is this mental block? At what point do you just walk away? Stop running. God, you're such a coward. Dude, you know what you're doing? You are intimidated by her because you're looking like, what is she in the, it's not written here, but I'm reading between the lines, the energy I'm getting from your letter. You're wondering why she's with you. You're wondering, why does she like me? She could have any guy. That's what's in between the lines in your letter. Oh, I saw something. Oh, Leandra's back. Hey, baby. I'm telling you, dude, this is good for you though, because two, when you look at your relationship, the types that you quote usually go for, have those worked out? Where's them women now? Okay, so you see what I mean? I mean, if you keep trying the same thing and it doesn't work, you're supposed to try something new. This girl obviously really likes you, so why are you running from her? I'm not saying you got to chase her down and be like a dog or anything, but obviously she's attracted to you. And that's how I was. I mean, I was like the hip girl, run around just acting a fool, but I also got straight A's in school and, would do what I need to do and like computers. But I was very attracted to those geeky types of guys, the ones who were always thinking and very, technical and stuff. I like that, but I'm the creative type. You can't have two people that are exactly the same in a relationship. It never works. They just burn each other out. So this is a good juxtaposition of personalities, habits, and lifestyles. The things that count, though, are going to be things like your morals and values. If those are in sync, then what you do for work and what you do for hobbies, that's not part of a relationship. It's how you relate to each other. You're looking at the wrong stuff. You're looking at outward stuff and worrying about stuff that doesn't have anything to do with what goes on between two people at home alone. Please stop this. You're going to ruin this. This could be a really nice chance for you to do something different and break out of your shell and see a whole new side of life. But you're running from it because you're scared because it's new. Stop it. Okay, stop it. The girl likes you. Roll with it. Just roll with it. My God, you young men, I tell you. Oof. Question number 5. Female, 22 to 30, out of Atlanta. Oh boy. Every letter out of Atlanta is dust central. Dust central. Oh yes, I want to tell you guys my t-shirt today says, let's stay strangers. Like, I like to wear this when I go into downtown Oakland because they always want to be hollering. They want to be hollering. And I'm like, let's not do that. Okay, now back to the program. Okay, she says my coworker is a playboy. He would flirt to most of the girls in the office, including me, but I don't like that my coworkers think we have a relationship just because we ride the same mode of transportation when going home. It all started as a joke, but it feels as time goes by, it's not a joke anymore. I'm faithful to my boyfriend. Even though this guy flirts on me when we are heading home, I don't flirt back. I'm forcing myself to treat him nicely, even though I'm pissed that he always wants to flirt on me because I don't want to be rude. Actually, I feel like he really wants to get my attention and is doing everything just to get it. He would buy me things or food. One of his motives is to feel my breasts while we're on the bus. But I know it, and I'm doing all the tricks to not allow that to happen. He also keeps on holding my hand or putting his hand on my shoulder, which I keep on putting away. He's so persistent and keep doing it. Oh, there was a time that we were heading home. We had to cross the pedestrian, but the time was running out and we needed to hurry, or else we'd have to wait for another chance to cross the street. So we ran so fast, and he held my hand as if trying to care because vehicles are just seconds to run again. But as usual, I would close my fist because I don't want to hold hands with him. The bad thing is we had another coworker that's also in the same city with us that is already on the other side of the street and saw us. And I'm so stressed that she might tell others that she saw him holding my hand. And when that happens, many would presume that we have a relationship. I don't know what to do, how I can defend myself. He is so persistent in holding my hand. Maybe that's the only way I can stop it, is to get angry while he keeps on doing it. Should I show him that I am pissed off? Should I be angry? Should I be rude? It's so hard trying to be nice to this kind of person. Why are you being nice to him? He's disrespecting you right and left. He's disrespecting your boyfriend right and left. He's disrespecting his place of employment. He really don't give a shit about nobody except himself. So I'm really confused. It really bothers me when young girls write to me and they ask permission. Is it okay for them to check people? Is it okay for them to show anger? Is it okay for them to say no? You have to find your voice. You've got to do that. What you're going to do is, um, the very next time that he buys you anything, I want you, while you're sitting at your desk or wherever you are, wherever he gives it to you, wherever the nearest waste garbage can is, waste receptacle, you're going to fling it in there. That's what you're going to do. You're not going to say thank you. You're not even going to look at him. You're just going to take it. If he puts it in your hand or lays it on your desk or whatever he does, you're going to throw it in the garbage can. You're going to do that in front of everybody. That's going to send a very strong message that you don't give a fuck about him or whatever he's doing. If you've been taking the things that he's been giving you, of course he thinks that there's a chance. And you trying to be nice and probably saying thank you. So he feels like that's encouragement. Your words and your actions have to match, young lady. If you don't want him being around you like that, everything that you do's got to communicate that. You don't smile at him, you don't talk to him. You don't go down the elevator with him, you don't do nothing with him. If he tries to stand next to you on the bus, you move away. If he tries to sit next to you, you sit next to somebody who's, like their seat open by the window or something. You sit there so there's a person in between you. You do whatever you need to do to put some barriers between them physically, but you also have to say things to him. You have to tell him no. You have to tell him stop. Don't touch me. Get the fuck away from me. Stuff like that. And if you do it in public, then he'll be embarrassed. Especially you call him a freak pervert and stuff like that. Now, if he does any of this, even though this is kind of confusing because it still might fall under sexual harassment because you do work together, even though it sounds like what most of is happening is outside of work. The stuff that he's doing with flirting with the women and all that stuff, it really would be better if a couple of you got together and went to HR and said something, about how creepy he is and how he's always flirting and you guys don't like it. So that would, get him a warning and then he would stop. But, I don't know. Have you done that? It doesn't say, it doesn't sound like it. But that's what I would recommend. So you and the other girls who he's been doing this to, y'all go into HR together tomorrow, and say, this is what's been going on, and this is even worse afterward because I have to be on the bus with him, and then he's trying to touch my titties and shit. And I don't really, I have a boyfriend. I don't like this guy. I don't want him touching me. I don't know around me. He gives me the creeps. He's like a predator, and then that's what you have to say. Actually, if you use that word, it would be good. Well, see, all of these women have, stories, but they're all running scared. So when you have a guy like this and, all the women are intimidated and everybody trying to, quote, be nice and all this kind of stuff, they just run rogue over the women because they're too scared to do anything. Me, it's like even if I saw somebody doing something like that to someone else, I'd be like, what the fuck are you doing? Go back to your desk. She's not interested in your tired ass. She got a man. Excuse me. Something along those lines. Just shut his shit down. It's like, yo, thirsty ass motherfucker chasing around women. Don't you have somebody outside of work? You got to be harassing people on their job? You just are the worst. Ugh. And stuff like that. Yes, girl, activate bop. That's what if he tried to touch her titty, that's what she definitely should do is slap his face, kick him in the nuts or something. And then that would be a real clear message, don't touch me. This is just terrible. I just hate that. Should I be rude? Yes. Should I be angry? Absolutely. You should have been angry like months ago. Woo, question number 6. My. Thanks, Michelle. I'm just really disturbed by this kind of activity. Question number 6, female 31 to 39 out of the UK. I've caught my husband of 5 years exploring anal. Okay, it's one in every column. It's always some freaky ass man in every single column. Okay, I've caught my husband of 5 years exploring anal self pleasuring. He won't admit it at all, then calls me crazy. He makes these really loud moans and acts as if I'm losing my mind when I point it out. I swear he has a vibrator in his butt because I hear the buzzing in the vibrator while in bed. He does. Huh, he does this all the time, sitting on the couch watching TV. I look over and he's rolling his hips. He blame shifts very bad while trying to ask about this situation. Says if he is doing this, he's not aware of it. What should I do? Get a divorce. Is this even a question? Get a divorce. Your husband is a weirdo. And most likely he's doing either he's doing it or he's fantasizing about doing it with some dudes. You know, all these dudes be right up here to be switch hitter. He's rolling his. I don't know if it is or not. You know what? But I don't even care because somewhere in the world, Ravania, some woman is dealing with this. That's what I feel like. All the stuff that we think about is weird. I mean, think about all the letters that have come through. And I think about some of the stuff I heard from women that I personally know. Some stuff that's very strange as well. So in all my years of doing this in my life and travels around the world, I don't never say that this is a troll letter because I've seen and heard too much, and I know these people, and I know that it happened. So I never say that. If you notice, do you notice that? I never say that. I never do that because I just feel like it's happening somewhere in the world. Like they say, somewhere in the world, it's 5 o'clock, so it's okay to drink. Same thing. Somewhere in the world, there's some freaky man doing something similar. I mean, you got to think about how many men claim that they're bi, right? You think they just woke up one day and decided to like no, they had to figure out that they like that particular kind of activity, right? I mean, think about it. Okay? So for you, young lady, I would say your next thing, you've been married 5 years and you're catching him doing it. He's doing it on the couch right next to you. He's not even embarrassed. He's not even trying to hide it. So what I would tell you to do is go immediately to a divorce attorney and let him take his rolling hips and vibrator butt self on somewhere. Oh my God, that would just creep me out. I just I just cannot with these dudes. I just cannot. I don't know. My t-shirt's all jacked up now. All right, let's move on to question number 7. This is from a female in the 31 to 39 age group from Tucson, Arizona. And she says, is it possible to stay empathetic when friends keep creating the same problems in their lives over and over? Deb has gotten so that whenever a female friend of mine confides in me the same issue over and over again, and it's something that she could have fixed, I just don't know how to respond after a while. At first, I am empathetic. I offer genuine understanding, advice if asked, a refrain if not. The next few times, I'm still empathetic, but then it begins to wane. By the fourth or fifth round of making the same mistake, I get to where I lack empathy and even get a little annoyed. But I find it hard to suppress my annoyance if that friend is openly engaging in behavior that makes the problem worse. My response is just to freeze up and not really respond. Sometimes I have the wherewithal to try to change the subject. For example, my friend has a spending problem. She regularly has to shut off her phone or streaming services because of late payments. Sometimes her and her husband barely pay necessary bills before these shut offs. I only know this because, of course, she tells me, and it happens every month. She also texts, calls, and tells me in person about something she has bought every single day. I got to where I just ignore her when she sends me pictures of purchases, and I go quiet the next time she tells me she has to shut her phone off again. I like to be able to continue to empathize with her because I understand that she has an addiction and she needs help, but I am truly tired of hearing about it. I wish I cared less. This has happened before with other friends and other issues, relationship problems, job problems, drug abuse problems. Maybe I'm just terrible at choosing friends. Not all of my friends do this, but some definitely have their lives together. This doesn't make me love these friends any more or the others any less. They're all lovely women whose friendships I cherish. But wow, I feel like a bitch when this happens because I am unable to keep emotionally supporting my friend in their time of need. It's like I have a maximum amount of care for each problem, and I feel like that is harsh. Do you have any suggestions? Well, shit, I'm like that, and I don't feel like it's harsh at all. You know what? Because you're bothering my nerves. Okay? I only have a limited number of nerves, and I need them for the rest of my life. I'm not going to spend them all on you. So when I have people like this, you know what I did? Like she called me talking about her phone. You know what I told her? I said, maybe you need to take some of that shit back that you bought that you didn't need. And then you could have the money to pay your phone bill. See, I would say stuff like that to her. And so she wouldn't want to call me whining about that stuff, and she wouldn't want me to know what she bought either. So then, guess what? You would be off the hook. You start saying stuff like that to her. It's like, well, how much did that so and such it cost you? That probably would have paid your cable bill, don't you think? Stuff like that. Just making, reminding her that she's being irresponsible. And then as far as your nerves and all the stuff, you have every right to tell her, look, I don't want to hear that shit. You set yourself up for this every month by not buying like everything like your ass is like a Rockefeller or something, and then you can't pay your bills. And then you want to whine to me and burn up my nerves talking about that shit. I don't want to hear it. Okay? I don't feel like it. Yeah, 1-800 who give a fuck. But it's like, I don't know. I've had friends like that. You want to talk about the same stuff over and over and over, and I'd be quick to tell them. I mean, just like you listen for a while, but after a while, it's like, look, that conversation is off limits now. I don't want to talk about that no more. And they always be like kind of slightly offended, but it's like, what? I mean, what you want me to do? You're working my nerves with you talking about some bullshit, and you haven't taken any steps to make it different. Well, you just want to keep talking about it over and over and over and over. Well, talk about it with your diary. Make a recording. Go and call, somebody else who cares. It's not me. Okay, you've used up your allotment of my caring. Lady boss say her dolls. I'm just like, I cannot do this kind of stuff. You calling me, I provide solutions. Then you opt not to use any of them, and you just want to keep calling me with some bullshit. No, we're not gonna do that. Now you got all the solutions that you need to solve the problem. I gave them to you free, okay? But you didn't do nothing about it. Well, I don't care. You just going over there and suffer in silence by yourself. That's what I would tell her. Question number 8. This is from a male, 22 to 30, from Kanpur, Pur, India. Wow. I don't think this is only the second or third letter I got from India. I am a 26-year-old guy with no tertiary, he's using big words, qualifications, who owns my own transport business in the private sector. I started at the age of 19. I now employ 3 other people, but I'm still very hands-on, so it involves me being a driver or mechanic at times. My business gives me an annual salary of R240,000. That's about 16,000. I guess are those rupees? 16,000 American dollars, plus the profits of the business put back in as capital and held in the value of assets, and enables me to financially support my mother and grand, who are both unemployed. My girlfriend of 3 years, who's 23, has a degree in engineering and is currently doing a 3.5 year internship. Who interns for 3.5 years? She lives with her parents who support her financially, at least in part. In the past, I was informed her parents don't think I'm good enough for her because of my choice of career. I chose to ignore this red flag because it was only important to me that my girlfriend accepted it and was proud of everything I have achieved. However, recently it appears that she feels my career is something to be looked down upon. She has mentioned that it's not a respected career to be transporting people around, and that I should get a more reputable career to be in line with her achievements in life. She feels that she deserves to be on someone on her level so that other people don't question why she would be with someone like me. Wow, she said all that to you? She has a degree in an entry-level job that isn't even in her desired field, making R120,000, which is 8,000 a year. So she makes half as much as you do with a degree, and she's complaining about what you do. Plus, you employ 3 people. Okay. I plan to get to a point where I don't even have to be personally involved in the business to grow it to a point where I can employ someone else to manage it, and I can check in every now and then. Right now, I may not be able to specify whether it's a 5 or 10 year plan as COVID has changed things drastically, but I don't believe I am stagnant. I'm still making progress, and I see that as positive. I have also been working on investing in property to secure some form of passive income. This little kid is smart. She says he doesn't have any tertiary accomplishments, but he's got a brain for business. This is fascinating. As well as making other financial investments that can pay me interest over time, some of which I have already done. Not that I believe it matters because at the moment I have made way more long term investments than my girlfriend has, and I have a lot more to show in terms of my achievements thus far. A part of me is actually hoping you have a different perspective and you can help me understand so that maybe if there's something to save in my relationship, that this can help me see why I should try to save it. I personally don't think anyone should be judged based on the job they have, but rather their character as a person. But I would like to know if either of us doesn't deserve the other or deserve better, is it me or her? And should I stay and try and make it work it out, or should I cut my losses and move? No, 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 no. The time that you spent writing this letter, you should have been writing her a letter saying, "Kiss my ass." Well, I know you wouldn't do that because you're much too polite, but basically, this woman is disrespecting you. She's putting you down. She's saying that the efforts that you're making aren't anything. It's like she's just like totally discounting you and your achievements. I, on the other hand, am very impressed. Man, if my daughter dated a young man who was doing something like this, I'd be planning a wedding. But in my family, we come from a family of entrepreneurs, so I understand his mindset. No, we don't. Nobody like having a job. Even if we got to struggle in our business, we still gonna do that versus go work on a job. But this is amazing for you to be as young as you are. You already have things. See, this is what I'm talking about, ladies. Y'all be talking about somebody got potential. This is the potential that you would bank on. This because he's already doing it. Okay, you would come on and you might have some expertise in something. Maybe bookkeeping or marketing or PR or something where you guys as a team, as a couple, could take the business to the next level. But you don't come in help a brother get started. Help a man. I need a little help. He don't need your help. He got his shit straight. He got a plan. But if you came on and you had something to add to it, I'm sure he would welcome your assistance. But he's got this. This is the kind of dude that you want. This is the kind of dude that is great. I just don't understand what she's talking about. Her parents are stupid. You know what's gonna happen? She's gonna get with some little Mickey Mouse engineer dude, and he's gonna be stuck at the job. And he's never gonna get a promotion. He's gonna stay at the same salary. And this guy's gonna be owning half the property in Kanpur, India, and have a business that employs 60 people, and be making bank, and be in politics, and be all kind of stuff. Cause he's got that kind of drive and ambition. And she's gonna be looking stupid, and her parents gonna be looking stupid too. Like, oh no, we made a bad choice. So you young man, you need to dump her. Dump her now, and find a lady who's going to be respectful of you and admire you and have your back, cheer you on, kind of thing. Like really admire your hustle because I do. And it's just this is just fascinating to see a young guy so young, 20. What did he say? 20. He's only 26 and he's had his business. He started his business when he was only 19. 19. You got 19-year-olds over here. What they doing? Sitting on the couch playing video games, asking their mother for money, and rides to their girlfriend's house and stupid stuff like that. This is okay. Yeah, she doesn't deserve you. That's the answer to your question. You're too good for her. Question number 9. Female, 31 to 39, out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Need advice on dating a father of young children. I'm 39 and in a dating relationship with a guy who's 41. So 39, 40, 41. Okay. We've been seeing each other regularly for well over a year. We each have 2 children. Mine are 17 and 18. His are 5 and 10. Wait a minute. He's 39 with a 5-year-old? He regularly spends time at my house and thus interacts with my kids. No, you're 39. He's 41 with a 5-year-old. Ooh. He regularly spends time at my house and thus interacts with my kids on the occasion they are around. He even brought them Christmas gifts. On the other hand, I have only been introduced to his oldest kid as his girlfriend, and that was on one occasion. We've been dating nearly a year at that point, but his ex-wife had a meltdown over it, like screaming, yelling meltdown. She feels that his younger daughter isn't old enough to understand, and by meeting the older child resulted in her talking about me in front of the younger one. I roll. He's been divorced for 3 years. I understand the complexity of young children. I don't want to pressure him on meeting his kids, but I also don't want to end up in a long term relationship with him and his ex. His ex seems very manipulative and hypocritical, but I'm also growing concerned that he is reluctant to do anything that will upset her. My question is, what is a reasonable age slash time frame to expect him to fully involve me in his life? So let's see. You've been dating each other for well over a year. I would say that time is now. Now, my this is my thing. He probably didn't handle that well because he probably, since he has that kind of wife, who for all we know might be, holding out some kind of hope that they get back together or something, because her reaction isn't great. Kids have those fantasies of their parents getting back together and all that. But what a parent is supposed to say is that's never going to happen. Mommy and daddy can be friends, but we're never going to get back together. We're never going to live in the same house. We're never going to get remarried. So you can stop thinking that now. He has a new girlfriend. Mommy will at some point have a new boyfriend. We may marry other people. We're going to move on. That's how you talk to your kids, like they have some damn sense. You don't try to hide it from them. So her reaction, though, is very suspect. And the fact that he's, so concerned about her reaction, that's where I would concentrate my energy. You're talking about, involving the kids. No, 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 no. That's not the issue. The issue is his handling of his ex. I would be sitting down and saying, okay, I'm seeing something. We've been together a year now. You know my kids, but how come I don't, really get to spend time with yours? And what is it that you're so afraid of about your ex that you kowtow to her and, do what she wants you to do? We need to talk about that. And that conversation will let you know if there's any future here. Because we're me and, the guy responded in a way like that. She having a meltdown and he doesn't check her. He doesn't say anything to shut it down or tell her to mind her own business, that he's going to have a life. He's not with her anymore. Shut up. Stuff like that. If he didn't do anything like that, then there's something going on there, some emotions that haven't yet been closure that people like to talk about all the time. That hasn't fully happened. And I would be like chucking up the deuces and be out. Divorced for 3 years. And one of the kids is just now 5. So, that was kind of odd. But anyway, yeah, he's been divorced for 3 years. They've been dating over a year. Question number 10. This is from a female in the 18 to 21 age group out of Kansas City, Missouri. So here's the story. I came out of a very long-term bad relationship, was single for a year, and then reconnected with an old friend slash love interest. Over the last few weeks, 6 or so, I've seen this guy a lot. When I see him, he's very flirty, very affectionate, and all around amazing. Mm. I thought everything was going fast but good when he did the whole I don't know if I want a relationship thing. He had led me to believe that he did. Anyway, I said okay and left it at that. A couple of days later, he was back in touch and seemingly picked up where he left off. This time, however, he seems as affectionate in person, but has definitely pulled back in terms of texting. He used to text me every morning when he got up, etc. That has stopped. I know the obvious thing would be to ask him, but given he seemed to panic a few weeks ago, I don't want to sound needy and ask him where this is going. But I have pretty strong feelings for him, and I'm terrified he is going to hurt me. She'd also say that I'm 99.9% sure he isn't dating other people. Well, that 0.1% is where you're fucking up. Okay, let me tell you something here. When a man tells you you're only in the 18 to 21 age group, so y'all be nice. Let me break this down for her. She's a kid. Okay, she's a kid. Um, 18 to 21. She's a baby. So when a guy comes to you, sweetie, and he tells you, I don't want a relationship, that's telling you a couple of things. One of which is, I don't want a relationship with you. Okay. It's also saying, I don't want to be committed to you or to anybody else, but whatever. Since we're only talking about you, I don't want to be committed. I want to be able to fuck around freely as a single man. That's what that's telling you. I don't want a relationship is don't expect anything from me like a boyfriend. I'll be here for the fun. I'll be here for some pussy if you give some up. But don't look for me to be there for you, to be in your corner, to help you move or anything like that. We don't have that kind of relationship. This is just, fun and games. That's what he's telling you. All three of those things. So what you should do in a situation like this is He's not your boyfriend. You say he led you to believe it, but if you guys didn't sit down and have a conversation that said, let's be boyfriend and girlfriend, we're not going to date other people, then that was your imagination talking. Okay, that was not factual reality. You didn't have that conversation. He thought that you was headed in that direction. That's why he pulled out that I don't want a relationship to put the brakes on, because you was going down a lane that you didn't have no business on. Traveling the road you shouldn't have been traveling on, and he wanted you to stop. So that's why he told you that. So you're not gonna ask him anything. That would be stupid. He already told you he don't want a relationship. So you ask him where this is going, he would be looking at you like you were crazy. What do you mean where's this going? We don't have a relationship, so we ain't going nowhere. Okay? You're confused here, young lady. You have strong feelings for him, and you think he's gonna hurt you. Well, that's coming because of the fact that you have strong feelings in a situation you should have any feelings for, because he's not your man. You don't have a relationship. So why are you having strong feelings for him? You see what I mean? This is what you're doing. You're doing things kind of backwards here. And the number one thing you need to do when you are seeing a guy and you're not official couple, you should be dating other people. There's a video on this site on this channel called the Pair and a Spare Dating Program. Please listen to it. I'll try to remember to link to it, and so because you can understand my promotion of the idea that a young woman date two or three guys at the same time, because that way it keeps you from getting too dependent on any one of them when you aren't really in a situation, committed relationship with any of the three dudes. Okay, you're just having fun. So that's what you're gonna do. Okay, I'll try to be gentle with you because you're so young, but this is a lesson you need to learn. You need to learn it now. Okay, you can't handle yourself like this, coming up with all these expectations of a dude just because you spent some time with him and screwed him. You don't you if you went into bed with no relationship, when you get up, it's the same thing. Y'all ain't in a relationship, you just fucked. Okay, so you got to get it straight. If you can't do that, you don't have that kind of mind. A lot of women don't. Know yourself. If you can't do that, then you don't sleep with nobody you're not in a committed relationship with. Okay? Absolutely committed. Don't do it. Question number 11. This is from a female in the 22 to 30 age group out of the UK. She says, I am often bitter about being a woman. Wow. And I am looking for ways to get over it. When PMS arrives, I am bloated, my face breaks out, I have cramps that send me to the floor in pain. Oh, and insomnia that keeps me up all night. I resent my partner and men more broadly every time I go through another round of PMS hell. Recently, my partner and I have been talking about having children and what last name we will give them. And every time I think about it, I think they should have mine. I cannot imagine going to work for weeks straight while nauseous. I cannot imagine how strange and embarrassing it will feel to have my body changed for everyone to witness. I cannot imagine how to live in my body after it's been stretched out. Oh my God, she's just making me want to do like a retroactive, don't have a baby. Um, After my body has been stretched out while my partner has gone through none of this. He thinks it's unfair that I be bitter at all, let alone let it dictate how we name our children. How do I stop being bitter? I'm only 24 years old. My boyfriend is 27. How do I get over the inequality of it? Okay, first of all, you need to see like an herbalist or something, because they have different things that will relax your uterus so that it will ease those cramps. Exercise also helps. Okay, mostly people just want to lay down and roll around in pain. Get up and move. Yoga is very, very good for stretching internally and externally. So you start doing some yoga, I think you'll see the pains reduce as well. But a lot of that, muscle cramping is nutritional. Sometimes it's potassium, calcium, and things like that will help a lot too. But you want to, visit a nutritionist and then see an herbalist and get some help with that. Now, the thing about this baby, this is your partner. I noticed he didn't say nothing about being married. See, this is what you tell him. He'll tell homeboy, if you're married and those are your children within a marriage, then they get your last name. If we just baby daddy and a baby mama in around, then the kids are going to have my name. That's how it works. And that's what you tell him in case he was confused. Some women are generous and they put the guy's name on there, and then they end up with a whole bunch of kids. They got a whole bunch of different last names, and they wasn't married to none of the dudes. And I don't understand that. Them is your kids. They should have your name. So you're confused about that. And about all this other stuff, you're only 24 years old. Don't have no kids. Don't have no kids till you about 34. Okay? When you've done everything fun that you want to do, then you have a child. Because after that, your life changes. It's like it's never going to be the same. For the rest of your life, you're going to now be somebody's mama. Okay? That's a title that never goes away, and neither does the responsibility and the worrying about them. Even if they're adults, you still worry about them. So before you go down that path, you make sure you A, are married, and B, he got some damn money, and C, that you have done all the fun things, all the educational things, all the career things that you want to do, then you have a baby. Okay? And you're not being bitter. I hate that word. That word is really banned on my channel. Surprised, but I guess Candace didn't want to change it to something else since that's what you wrote. But anyway, let's move on. We got 21, well, let's say 21 questions, and this is question number 12. This is a female in the 22 to 30 age group out of Belfast, Ireland. I'm 28 and I find myself in a predicament, and actually my mum and siblings are in the same predicament. My aunt calls each one of us each week, sometimes multiple times per week. That would be fine in other circumstances, I'm sure, but when she calls, the recipient of the call does not get a word in. A typical call lasts anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour and a half. All the while, the conversation is completely one sided. She'll talk about her eating habits that week, her gut health that week. She retells stories from the previous call as though she's never said it before. She'll replay in obviously exaggerated detail each conversation she's had in which she interprets minuscule things as massive dramas and hidden attacks. It is genuinely really difficult to get a word in. And if you try to turn the conversation in another direction or give your opinion or experience, it doesn't last more than 3 seconds. It's excruciatingly hard to hang up because she just keeps going and repeating word for word stories she told at the beginning of the call. It is so painful. She put like period after each word. It's gotten to the point where I've ignored almost the last 10 of her calls because I just don't have the energy. And if she doesn't reach one person, she tries every single other person until someone answers. I feel guilty when I ignore her calls every week, but she is such an incredibly sensitive person and very insecure and defensive, evident by her gossiping of perceived slights in every interaction. So I haven't felt like it's possible for me to say anything to change it. Part of me thinks it's better in this instance to continue ghosting her while answering the occasional call, sending texts in lieu of calls, and so on. What do you all think? So she's asking for y'all's opinion too. Let me tell you what I would do. Um, I would set a timer and I would say, Auntie, or you can send it in a text. Next time you call me, I'm going to have a timer on. You're going to get to talk for 5 minutes. Then I'm going to talk for 5 minutes. Then you're going to talk for 5 minutes. Then I'm going to talk for 5 minutes. See, that's what's called a conversation. Both people talk. The way that you do everything, it's like a TED talk, and I'm just the audience there listening to you run your mouth. I don't like those kind of conversations. I don't want to have those anymore. So if you're not willing to share the floor and spend some time talking about things that are interest to me in my life, then we really have no reason to talk. That's what I would tell her. I don't play that kind of stuff with my aunts. We don't do that. See what I tell you all at the top of the show. My nerves, my nerves, my nerves are important to me. You cannot be working my nerves. I only have a few left. I need them. So just on this auntie like this, she would just be taking way more than her fair share. That's not gonna work. So you again, you 28 years old rather, and you need to find your voice. I mean, I don't understand how a grown woman can feel like she doesn't have the ability to say this kind of stuff and shut that stuff down. You're doing a passive thing by running away and hiding, but you can't live your life like that every time somebody does something where they, take advantage of you. You better speak up. You better speak up, honey. I tell people in a minute, you get on my nerves. I even told one of my bosses that. It just kind of flipped out though. He was looking so like, because he was getting on my nerves, but he was just talking crazy stuff to me and I didn't want to hear it. And I said, you know what? This conversation is getting on my nerves. And then he just looked at me. He said, it is. I said, yes. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this anymore. So he thought it was amusing. He was telling everybody, but I still, whatever it was he wanted me to do, I didn't do it. It's just, I don't know. You just have to have really strong boundaries. And I think that's the major problem with most of the people that write these letters. They don't have any, or they're very fluid. Mine are built in like out of diamonds and steel and every kind of metal that you can think of. They're just immovable. I probably could be more flexible, but I just don't want to. Oh, okay. Wait, I'm going to skip it. Yeah, so anyway, that's what you do. Next question, number 13. This is from a female 40 to 49 out of Liverpool, England. I've been married for just over 2 years. This marriage is both our second. We were divorced for quite some time before we got married. I have a teen son, and my husband has four girls ranging from 24 to 17. All four of his daughters have been against us getting married and being together. The youngest has gone so far as to say that he should have asked for her permission before he ever considered marrying me. Wow. We lived in different towns when we decided that we wanted to be together. I had to put my current house up for sale and purchase a home in his hometown. What? Unfortunately, it's a very small town and his entire family lives here, as well as his ex-wife and her family. It was very difficult for me to accept the fact that I was forced to move to this town if I wanted to be with him. I would have left him in that little roadside inn where he came from. I left my hometown, pulled my son out of school, sold my house, and left my family to try to become a part of his, but it isn't working out. Three of his daughters lived with him before we got together in his mom's house. When I bought a new house in a new town, we all moved in together. Over the next 2 years, all three of the girls have left on bad terms. They all hate me and they don't hide it. I've tried very hard to be patient and to be understanding and not pushy with them, but no matter what, they were never going to give me a chance. But now he blames me. He has told me that it's all my fault that they left, and he can't believe that I allowed them to leave. Wait a minute, how old is these bitches? I thought you said these cows was in their 20s. The youngest one is 17. These are all grown women. They don't need to be in the house with you. Okay, let me just finish. Okay, why he can't believe I allowed them to leave. How in the world was I supposed to stop that? They're all mean girls that have no respect for him or me. I just cannot allow them to disrespect me in our home. It's a horrible place to be. Knowing your husband blames you for his girls leaving when I wasn't to blame. They chose to hate me and never wanted me to be in his life. I never tried to discipline them. I never got in their faces. I was never cruel. On the other side, we also have no romantic relations. We go months, like 6 or 8, without having eggplant. It is crazy to me that he doesn't have any desire to be with me in any way. Not sure where is I'm supposed to go with all these issues. I'm beginning to think that marrying him was a mistake. He won't stand up for me with his girls. He won't stand up for himself with his girls. He won't spend time with me or be romantic with me. What am I supposed to do? I'm at my wit's end and I'm not sure what I can do. Yes, you can. You can go and see a real estate agent because you bought the house, right? You sold your other house that you bought by yourself and you used that money to buy this house where you are right now. So what you do is you put that house up for sale and then you take your money and you file for divorce and then you move back to wherever it was that you were by your family. That's what you do. This is very simple. Number one, okay, I don't know what kind of pussy ass daddy he is that he got girls in their 20s living in the house with him and he thinks that they're going to be talking to him and his wife crazy. You married a punk. That's what you did. A milk toast man. You know how I can't even imagine how that house would have been rocked. That whole neighborhood, his whole family would have been rocked if some girl said some fucked up shit to me. I'd have been like, little tired ass bitch, get the fuck out. Don't come back in my house. Don't ever come back here. I don't want to see your ugly little face and take your ugly sisters with you. And all four of you, just stay the fuck away from me. That's what I would have said. And if he didn't like it, you could go with him. Because it's my goddamn house. I bought it. Pack your little hush puppies and whatever else you came up in here with and get out. But yeah, I mean, Deb, no, we don't play that. And they hate you and stuff good. That makes it easier to cuss the bitches out. That's the way I feel about it. I love it when people say, I hate you. Oh boy, that's like a field day. I have a license to act a fool now. Because, I might have tried to hold it in for a second just on the strength of trying to be polite. Not nice, but just polite. But now that you're going to come at me like that, I'm going to let you have it with both barrels. So I don't know. I don't understand parents like this. So I threw my daughter out. She got crazy. I'm like, oh no, you got to get out of here. You got to get the fuck out of my house. Get out. So she been gone. It's been about what, almost 2 years now. People are like, don't you miss her? Let me think about it. No, I don't. Because now this where it was her room is now my YouTube studio. So this works out great. But yeah, that's what you need to do, girlfriend. This was a mistake. Let me tell you something. The very first mistake that you made was when you felt like you had to sell your home and change your everything in your life and your child's life to be with this man. He couldn't even provide you with the home. You had to buy the house yourself. That should have told you right there that this was never going to work. He didn't even have the right attitude from the outset of being a provider and taking care of his wife and his stepson and his four raggedy daughters. And they was living at his mama's house, and he's a dusty bum. So I don't know what you were thinking, why you thought this was a good idea, what it is about this guy that you saw that was so fascinating. But I'm telling you, I'd be looking at my house, and then I'd be looking at him, and I'd be looking at my house, and I'm thinking, I love my house more than I love you, so bye bye. That's just me, though. That's just me. Let's move on. Question number 14, female 18 to 21 out of Florida. Hi, Miss Deb. My siblings and I feel the same way about this issue. We all feel like we buy treats with our own money. We shouldn't have to share with one brother, but my mom feels like we do. The reason why we don't want to share with him is because he's absolutely horrible. He's only 14 years old, but my oldest brother's convinced that he's a demon. If I go into every detail about him, I would have to write another letter. First, he has serious anger issues. He used the smallest things to get extremely angry and destroy stuff. He destroyed the kitchen, broke two holes in the wall, flipped over our dining room table. He's even gotten in trouble at school for harassing people and cussing out one of his teachers, then running away and skipping school for the rest of the day. He sent CPS to our house twice under claims of abuse. My mom is dating a guy and he's pretty cool. I guess my 14-year-old brother doesn't seem to think so because he told the school that his mom's boyfriend yelled at him to try to paint him as an abuser. What happened was he was disrespecting my mother, so the boyfriend stepped in and talked to him. But he got upset and bashed his head on the wall. Okay, your brother is crazy. Not too long ago, he lied to some strangers and almost got my mom's boyfriend shot. He's also very disrespectful to all his siblings. I have 7 siblings, but only 6 of them live at home. We range in age from 21 to 8. Another issue is when he's home, he eats way too much. It's more than any of the adult males do. That's one of the main reasons we try to keep stacks of treats away from him. He is extremely greedy. When everyone bakes something, he eats 90% of it and just leaves a little for the rest of us. One time I was out and I had baked something the previous day and called home and told him to save me some. But when I got home, nearly all of it was gone. And I asked him what happened. He just laughed. Maybe it's not a big deal, but it really pissed me off. My mother gives him something I bought or made without talking to me first. She feels like she doesn't have to speak to me about it, though. I'd really like to hear an outside opinion on this issue. We know he definitely has some kind of mental issue because he's been in and out of the mental hospital many times last year. But even if he does have some kind of issue, I believe there's no excuse to destroy stuff and harass people. He's completely aware of the things he does. Out of all the children, he's the only one who's like this. Do you have any thoughts? Should we have to share our snacks and treats with him? No, what you need to do, 21-year-old, is get your ass out the house. That's what you need to do. Move. Move. What is the problem? Why are you there? I mean, what's the reason why you can't have a situation where you rent a room somewhere or you and another girl get a 2-bedroom apartment or something like that? Why are you still there with all this drama? Man, I wouldn't care if I have to sell my ass. I'm getting the fuck up out of there. The crazy ass mama and a weirdo violent brother, and you writing me about sharing some food? That is the least of your problems. The least of the issues in this house. Now, I can see why you would feel like, it's important to you because you want to have some stuff for yourself. See, what you do when you want to have stuff to yourself and you in somebody else's house, you move out. Especially if the stuff that you're making was made with the stuff that your mama bought. That's not your stuff. It's none of y'all stuff if your mama bought it. Now, if you bought the ingredients and everything, but you still using her gas and electricity to cook it, so yeah, you're gonna have to share with your brother. That's just the way it is. Now, what I suggest is if you bake something and you want it, then what you do is you cut your piece that you want and you take it first, right? Don't you have like a, if you don't have one, you might need to get you one, a little safe or something that you can put your stuff in. It sounds crazy that have to use a safe for snacks, but you can put your social security card and your birth certificate and whatever passport, whatever you got, you can put that in there too. But that's what you need to do. Then you can put your slice of cake and your pie and your butter pecan popcorn and whatever else you got that you want to have for your treats that you bought with your money, then you can put it in there. But if y'all, I'm telling you, if you're using one dime of your mother's resources, anything, her lights, her electricity, her gas, the heat turn on the stove, her flour, her sugar, her baking soda, her baking powder, her stuff like that, then she has every right to give whoever she wants to some of that stuff because she contributed to it. It's not yours. Your shit is going to be at your house where you bought it with the job that you have and you came and put it in your car, in your house, in your refrigerator where you pay all the bills. Then it's yours. Okay, I want you to understand that. When you are in a household with other people and your parents are supporting you, nothing in that bitch house is yours. Okay? That's what I had to tell my daughter. She got real confused about that. I was like, no, 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 no. You want to play, the computer, you bought the computer, but guess what? The electricity to run that bitch, I pay for that. So you can have a computer all you want to, but it's not going to do nothing when you press the power button unless I pay the bill, right? The young people just getting themselves confused. So that would be my suggestion to you. So, you wanted to have something like that, then just bake two. You want to buy something and you want to know he's going to get it, buy two. Give him one, and then you have one. This way you doing this is not going to work. And like I said, you think about this. Yeah, at 18, I'm telling you, my brothers left the house at 16 and a half, 17. They was like, boop, all three of them out. I was the only one kind of lingering around. But, it was different for me. I was the only girl. But no, they was like, oh, no, 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 no. We're out of here. And they never went back. I was in and out. I'll stay there a couple of months and then I leave again. This kind of stuff. It was, just whatever. And they always seemed happy to see me and all that kind of stuff. But my brother's not one of them ever moved back to the house. They never even spent a night there after they moved out. They just didn't. Yeah, mom was having kids over a long period of time. But, that's the thing. I think, young people don't think about stuff from that aspect. They think, well, it's mine. No, it's not yours. You using some resources that you didn't pay for to produce this end product. That's called a partnership in business. And so that partner has a right to determine what happens with that asset that was created with some of their resources. That's just the way it is. Sorry, I know that's not the answer you wanted, but that's the way that it works. That's the way it works. It's going to work at your house. That's why your mama sees it that way. That's how it works in life. That's how it works in business. That's how it works in the world. Somebody puts something in it, then it's partially theirs too. Okay. Question number 15, female, 31 to 39, out of Montreal, Canada. My boyfriend and I, I'm 37 and he is 38, have been together for 6.5 years. In the last two, we have had eggplant maybe twice, and it didn't last long, maybe 3 to 5 minutes max. And you still with him? Woo! I don't know how to deal with this. I've tried to bring it up, but it turns out that it's a big problem. He's never liked for me to initiate, so there's no room for me to even attempt to get him in the mood. I even get him to thinking about it. I'm an open person. I can handle truth really well. I'd rather someone be brutally honest with me instead of being left in the dark to wonder, what the fuck? I could understand if he were stressed over bills or overworked due to a demanding job or whatever, but he doesn't even continuously hold a job. His days consist of Xbox and making YouTube videos. Hell, he doesn't even sleep next to me or try to spend any time with me. Help me understand. I'm to a point of resentment and walking away. Girl, okay, first of all, you're stupid. What are you doing in a relationship with somebody who doesn't even work and who sits around playing Xbox and YouTubes? And the biggest thing that you see as a problem here is that he ain't giving you no dick. You think that's the biggest problem in this relationship? You shouldn't want any from him because he's a bum and he's a loser who can't fuck no way. 3 to 5 minutes, that's wasting your time. Soon as you start trying to get into it, good, it's over. No. And you've been dealing with this for years and years, you're being dumb. Okay. Now I hate to tell you this because you know you too old. Look at this, you 37 and he's 38. And this is, this is the kind of letter I usually get from, people in the 18 and maybe 24, 25 age group. Now some people, two people almost 40. What are you doing? This is terrible. This is terrible. Okay, you act like he the only man in the world. And what man, almost 40 years old, sits around making YouTube videos and playing Xbox all day. And can't put nothing down more than 5 minutes? He's got a trifecta of fail. I don't know what you're doing. The time that you spent writing to me, you should have been packing. That's what you should have been doing. Question number 16, female 22 to 30 from Virginia. My best friend got engaged a couple of months back. The man she's marrying is a great guy and he treats her so well. Her mother, however, has been truly nasty about the entire engagement and the wedding since she is very religious and they moved in together before actually getting married. She has said things like, "What have I done as a mother to deserve this?" Or "You're such a selfish person." Or "I know you're going to be so melodramatic and a bridezilla." Or telling her that she's going to hell. Wow. Wow, these parents. My friend's father passed away from cancer our senior year of high school, so needless to say, she is already disappointed that he won't be there, and her mother is completely ruining the experience by acting this way. Because of this, my friend has decided to elope in May, just the two of them. She's very sad about the entire situation and has had a hard time feeling excited since her family has given her the cold shoulder. She's in another state where she doesn't have many friends or family, so I'm planning on visiting soon to go wedding dress shopping with her. My question is, what can I get her or do for her that would make her excited for the big day? Within reason, money's not really a concern. I'm not engaged or married and would love some input from you or anyone watching that has experience with this kind of thing. She and I are both 26 and her guy is 30, if that matters. This is very sad. It's supposed to be a really nice occasion, and her mother sound like the bitch is jealous, if you ask me, because even if she is religious, the things that she's saying here are not about the girl's spiritual journey, like in our religion this, or God says that, or the Bible says that. That's not what's doing. These are personal attacks. So this to me sounds like the mother is jealous. I hate to say it, but that does happen. Mothers do get jealous and fathers get jealous of their sons too. I mean, it happens. But for you, I don't know. I mean, I don't know you. I don't know your friend. I mean, what is she like? What kind of things have you guys enjoyed doing together? I mean, I don't know if you could find a spa or, some kind of thing like that. I mean, I know with COVID and everything is, most of those businesses are kind of shut down, but there has to be somebody who's willing. I mean, if you guys go with a recent COVID test result of negative or something, who would be willing to do the massage and spa day kind of treatment for her? Do her hair, do her nails. You guys could do all that kind of stuff. Have a day of pampering. Go to lunch. Go to the wedding dress shopping thing over the weekend. Take her on a weekend trip maybe. Just the two of you. I mean, whatever it is that you two enjoy doing together, you got to get her mind off of this stuff that's going on with her mother. And I think, the wedding dress shopping and planning, then sit down with her and say, I know you guys aren't going to have a big wedding, but that doesn't mean you can't have a great party when you get back. And if you say she's in another state, does that mean that all her friends are in the state where you are? If so, why don't you and those friends plan like a reception for her in your state so that she can, she'll go off and get eloped and everything, but they can come back and you guys will all be there welcoming them with open arms and smiles and laughs and hugs and whatever you're gonna do with COVID, and then have this event that you can have with, so if you, especially if you have it in an area where it's like more outdoorsy or open, you can have people do social distancing, whatever you're gonna do, and do it that way. Give her something to look forward to. Even if it's not a big thing, even if it's only 4 or 5 of you, of her favorite friends from school or whatever, Um, I think having that kind of support for her, give her some bridal gifts and stuff like a shower, but it'll be after wedding presents or whatever. I think something like that would really lift her spirits. And you might want to recommend to her that she block her mom for a while. Got to put a mom on a timeout. Every some mothers are just toxic, and this young lady, she doesn't need to be having this kind of energy around her. So ask her how she feels about that. Don't tell her to do it, but say, well, how do you feel about, maybe blocking your mother for a few months until you come back from your honeymoon, not talking to her at all, and so that you can clear your mind and clear your spirit. See what she says, because I would have definitely, if mine was acting like that, she would have got blocked so fast, it wouldn't even have been funny. So I don't know. I just some ideas that came to mind. I don't know what you can do. Who knows what COVID situation is going to be in May? I mean, there's so many unknowns here, but or what the weather's going to be like in your state. I don't know where you live. You say, where did you say that she is? Or this is where you are. You're in Virginia, but that doesn't mean that's where she is. You know what I mean? So this could be interesting. But those are some ideas, so that should get you some good ideas. Question number 17, male, 31 to 40, out of Santa Clara. That's California here. My girlfriend and I'm 29, she's 32, originally started out as friends with benefits. We both acknowledge that there's no romantic feelings between each other, but we still had eggplant on most nights. Her younger sister's 30 came to visit one afternoon, and the three of us spent the evening watching movies and drinking. My current girlfriend drank too much and passed out in bed. Her sister started flirting with me, and we ended up having drunken sex. Oh boy. About 6 months later, my girlfriend and I grew closer and became an official couple. Whenever I see her sister, we both act like it never happened. However, I know it's in the back of both of our minds. I recently contacted her sister to see how she felt about the situation, and she begged me not to tell my girlfriend about it. She's coming to see me tomorrow so we can talk about this in person. What do you think I should do? Should I tell my girlfriend even though her sister is begging me not to? Oh, that's it? Okay, let me just talk about you for a minute. You one messy, gossipy little bitch boy. You know what the appropriate way to handle this was? If anybody ever brought it up, I don't know what you're talking about. That never happened. Yeah, we were drunk, but everybody passed out. This some figment of her imagination bullshit. In other words, you gaslight like a motherfucker. You gaslight like there is no tomorrow. You like drama. That's why you want to tell the girl. You just a little bitch. That's what you are. And her coming to see you to talk about it, what kind of excuse is that? You just want to get over there so you can bone her again. You all in all, y'all is just tacky, tawdry, and just ridiculous. I'd hope she breaks up with you because you don't deserve her. You just trash. You trash. This is not. You didn't handle this like a G at all. You would never, if this is your girlfriend now, this your official girlfriend, and that's her sister. If y'all keep dating and she's 32 and you 29, the likely thing then is people start wanting to talk about marriage and stuff. That's why you deny. This never happened. It never happened. I don't know what you're talking about. What? Girl, what you been smoking? Man, I would win an Academy Award performance, I'm telling you, because I wouldn't know what she was talking about. Say, I would deny it like your sister is tripping. Your sister is drink. Does she like me or something? I would play that game so hard it would you would be like, damn, Deb. I'm telling you, this right here is some shit that you don't never admit to. You go to your grave and you still don't know what they talking about. Okay? That's what I'm saying. You don't tell people. It causes all kinds of drama. And it only happened one time and you was drunk and, y'all wasn't really a couple yet anyway. So what is it that you want to tell her? See, that's the thing when I say gossipy as bitch boy men. What is your goal here? What is it that you're trying to accomplish by telling her this? There's something in the back of your mind that you want to see happen, which is you want to see her all fucked up. You want to see hate her sister. You want to feel this immense power that you fuck two women that are related to each other and one of them doesn't know. That's what you want. You ain't shit. I hope you understand that very clearly. Okay, I know that's not the answer you was hoping to get out of me, but that's the one you gonna get. You ain't shit, motherfucker. I hope she finds out she beat your ass and her sister's ass. Question number 18, female 31 to 39 out of the UK. 2.5 years ago, my brother died completely shit. My feelings were and are still confused. He married and had kids similar in age to mine and my other brother. We also got on with a sister-in-law, but she withdrew from us when my brother left her for another woman, who he married just weeks before he died. Sister-in-law did not want anything to do with us after that. Everyone dealt with the aftermath differently, and my parents now moved to another house in another country within the UK. They wrote to sister-in-law with a change of address and further asked to see her and niece and nephew. She has now replied, essentially asking them about how their affairs stand. She wanted reassurance that their estate would be split 3 ways, with her children inheriting my brother's share. This is exactly how my parents have arranged things. Now, this is the issue. My family has an heirloom that can only be worn at weddings. It has been in my family for generations, and I wore it at my wedding as cousins and at my other brother's wife, who resented giving it back. This sister-in-law did not wear it. In her letter, reference was made to this heirloom. She wants it given to her daughter as the oldest female granddaughter. My mother gave it to me as her only daughter. My other brother, who I've always got on with, has now admitted that he feels resentful of the heirloom being considered a female preserve. He wants it sold and the money split. He hasn't said between whom. He has said he will not hold it against me if my mother doesn't want this, however. Am I being unreasonable not to part with it? My mother wants me to keep it. What would you do? Your mother's still alive. Okay, this is not part of an estate. So your brother has no say-so in it. Get that real clear, and that's what you need to tell his ass. Say, this was a gift from my mother to me. It's not part of her estate because she's still alive. Okay, it was a gift. Just like if you got granddad's or dad's watch, pocket watch or something, what that shit they always used to give their son, granddad's, great dad's pocket watch and stuff, that always went to the oldest son. Okay, do you see the girls complaining about the pocket watch? Then you don't get to complain about whatever this is that the girls wear at the wedding. Probably a tiara, a crown, or whatever they call it, some kind of something like that. You don't get to wear it. You don't get to wear it, and you don't get to have a say-so in it. Shut up. Now, see, if that was my brother, that's what he would have got told. I don't know why you so nice to yours. And this bitch-ass ex-sister-in-law, I mean, asking him out, trying to fish around about stuff about her kids. Your parents are nice. I would have said, they going to get what I give them. And you trying to hold them hostage and get some money out of us and stuff. You keep your raggedy ass kids over there. I don't give a fuck about them or you. Of course, I would give them something, you know what I mean? Because it's not their fault their parents are stupid. But that doesn't mean that she would have to know about it. You see what I'm saying? She's just greedy. She's trying to get something because she feels like, well, her husband left her. And so she wanted to get some kind of payment for it. Mm-mm. Yeah, your parents are very nice. I would have cussed that bitch out and said, you keep your kids. Because see, as soon as they ask about seeing the kids, now she got all these questions about their money. You see what I mean? This is like a blackmail situation. And when she wants a tiara, you send her back a note that has one word on it, no. And then maybe on page 2, you can say, kiss my ass, bitch. And then on page 3, you say, ha ha. And then on page 4, you say, not happening. So she understands, you say it. You can put it in different languages and stuff, Yet, nine, nada, all that. So that she understand it ain't happening, chick. In 15 languages. You can go and Google Translate. They'll put it, you just copy that on the paper. And you can say no and stuff and kiss my ass, all kind of stuff. They'll tell you how to do it, saying in different languages. All you do is just copy it down. You don't even have to be creative. I don't know. I'm glad we don't have this kind of problem in my family. And then when my mother died, I didn't want anything. I'm sorry, some things I probably would have liked to have, but I didn't want anything. I'm not going to be, I just didn't want to be bothered. Yes, cut and paste. Cut and paste is the bomb. This is really unfortunate. His mother's not even dead yet, and they already arguing over her stuff and trying to put her in the middle. But your brother talking about he's always been resentful. Say, you punk bitch motherfucker, why are you resentful of some shit that women get? And it's not going to get sold. It's a gift to me. Other than everything that mom gave you, you want to, we should go sell that too? How about them leather boots she bought you? Let's sell those, the $300 boots. I want to cut of that money. Stuff like that is just stupid. It's a gift. And her only daughter and her oldest daughter, that's who is supposed to get it. He just mad because he's not a girl. Ugh, your brothers, ugh, these men. Question number, what and where did I leave off? God, I'm picking up papers and forgetting to put them back down. Okay, here we go. Question 19. Female, 22 to 30 from Wilmington, North Carolina. I have been with my boyfriend for nearly 4 years. I have been dealing with his crazy baby mama for a while, but she just dropped a bombshell that she and him have been messing around and she is pregnant with his baby. Wow. He and I moved in together about 9 months ago and we were so happy. And now I feel my life has been turned upside down. I have moved back into my mom's, but I feel like I want to get back with him and try and work things out. He says he is truly sorry and wants to work it out. Would it be a bad thing considering this? I'm only 22 and feel like I can do better, but at the same time, I really love this guy and feel he could be the one for me. Okay, you could be the one for me. The one for you is a lying, cheating, raw dog with the ex, cutting corners around your back, ain't finished with his baby mama, just gonna have a new baby with some other bitch during the term of your relationship. That's the best you can come up with for the man that you say is the one for you. You need your ass kicked, little girl. That's what you need. You're not thinking of this straight. Your mother needs to have a serious talk with you. Okay, this man is the dregs of society. Who does that? Who does that? You know what I mean? This is ridiculous. It's not even like he's a celebrity. You hear some of them celebrities be doing stuff like that. And they have, didn't Bobby Brown do that to Whitney? Somebody, I don't know, somebody had a baby right before they got married by some woman. I don't think it was his ex. I think it was just some random. But the principle is, you conduct yourself like a married couple before you actually get married. The marriage takes place in your spirit and in your heart before you ever really walk down the aisle. Yes, you're technically still single. Yes, people often and do change their mind. But the connection that you have to that person and how you're treating them and how you're living your life with that person, that starts before you walk down the aisle. So you have a situation where you've been with this guy for 4 years and he's not going to just pick up with the baby mama after out the blue. So it just tells you quite clearly that he's been fooling around with her the whole time. Right? I mean, he's just going to feel comfortable enough to just raw dog her and get her pregnant again. Girlfriend, what you think that you had here, you just don't have. This guy, he's a low value man. I don't know what to tell you. You're 22. You're just a baby. You think that this fabulous love that you have for this guy is enough. Is not. Because love is one thing, but respect is another. And he is not respecting you at all. You have to respect yourself. This is when self-love comes into play. If you're not a subscriber already, please hit that subscription button, honey, because you need to be here for every single show in February so you can get yourself on track. This is just sad. This guy is nothing. He is shit on a stick. He's probably not even on a stick. He's just shit laying there on a pile. This is awful. If you were my daughter, I would be so upset right now. Question number 20. Female, 22 to 30 from Boise, Idaho. Hi, Deb and Candace. Thank you for choosing my letter. I have a real issue with my dad and I need some help. For context, I'm 22, 5'8", and about 130 pounds. Oh my God, you are a stick. I came home to visit for the holidays and the first thing out of his mouth was about how I gained weight. Previously, I was 110, but honestly, that was really unhealthy and I would barely eat. He makes comments about how big my thighs are and that my shoulders are bulky now. Your daddy needs his ass kicked. I was honestly happy with my body and really didn't gain any bad weight. It's all in my butt, thighs, and hips. I'm feeling really uncomfortable about it all, and I'm wondering if anyone else has a dad who is too intrusive or too interested in what they look like. That's gross. He's a boomer and has some sexist opinions of women in general and thinks a woman should be like Audrey Hepburn or fucking Kate Moss. I think it's inappropriate for him to tell me I look good or common if he thinks I don't. But maybe it's not. Anyways, thanks. Normal fathers will tell their babies that they're beautiful, smart, pretty, cute, stuff like that. They're not going to be looking at them saying, ooh, them boobs and them hips. They're not going to do that. I mean, there's probably some pervs that think that, but they hopefully have enough sense not to say it. Like Donald Trump, for example. I can see, I just never going to get over him saying that's what he said about his daughter. But, um, the way he's picking on you like that, you need to shut him down. You need to shut him down and tell him about himself. And one thing is say, 5'8" and 130 pounds, you still skinny as hell. Okay? I don't know what that looks like, but I just don't see how that could. You're very, very, very slim. And him telling you how you gain weight, did you say, yeah, this is a much healthier weight for me? Before I was underweight and undernourished. I would think, as my father, if anything, you would be excited about that your daughter is now a healthy weight and eating much better and will probably live a longer, healthier life. But instead, all you fixated on is what I look like. You're shallow and stupid, Dad. So you got to shame him and tell him about the stuff that's changed for the better. And then you put the icing on the cake by calling him a name, which is not, both of which are true. He's shallow and stupid. Okay, then you're gonna tell him, what kind of father talks about their daughter's body like that? That's some perv stuff, Dad, and you're making me real uncomfortable. Stop it. You don't need to be looking at me like that, examining anything on my body that closely. That is over the bounds of decency as a father. You're just a pervert. That's gross and disgusting. Okay. Shame him again. So, man, you get an idea what I'm talking about? Every time he says something like that, you got to flip it around. So instead of you feeling bad about yourself, you make him feel bad for saying what he said and thinking what he thought. You might have to think about it, you know? Because, that stuff comes so naturally to me, but for a lot of girls, it doesn't. But I even cussed my daddy out one time. He said some foul shit to me, and I turned all my Cooper out on his ass. And it's like he couldn't say nothing because he's the one who taught me how to cuss. I learned it from him. So I just turned it right back on his ass right quick, and he was just sitting there looking at me blinking. And then he fell out laughing. And then we didn't never have that problem anymore. But yeah, this father here is just doing the most. He's doing the most. And you're going to have to find your voice, as I said, and you're going to have to start slamming him. Every single thing he says to you, he's trying to put you down, you're going to flip it around and make it that he's the one that's the bad one, he's the one that's wrong, and he's the pervert, and he's inappropriate, and, whatever way you want to do it, but you're going to flip that around right on him. Yes, I did say that. I learned it from him. My daddy used to be okay, he would cuss somebody out, and the only words in the whole sentence that would be, as we used to say, found in the dictionary, at least at that time, was you. The rest, they didn't start having all those kind of words in the dictionary until, like later in the 2000s and stuff. You could find stuff in there. But yeah, he was creative, man. He was something else. So that's who I learned how to cuss from. And he got a taste of his own medicine. I don't think he liked it very much. Question number 21, female. 22 to 39. What is this? Okay, this is a typo. Anyway, well, she's whatever age she is, and she's in Calgary. My fiance talks to his mother every day, and it's starting to drive me nuts. Am I a bad person for this? Now, to be clear, I love that my fiance has a good relationship with his mother. I had an idea that because of that, he would treat me well, and he always has. But is there a line to cross of too much communication? She knows everything I do every day because she asks him and he tells her. It prevents me and his mom from having an authentic relationship because when I do see her, I have nothing to talk about that she doesn't already know. And I don't even talk to my parents that much. I have a close relationship with them, but I've always valued privacy and independence, so I grew up with those things. It's just it's a different shift to see a different parenting style. I don't know if I'm overreacting, but for whatever reason, it's a turnoff to me. I get that they have a good relationship, but at what point do you draw some sort of line? I'm going to tell you what, dip now. Dip now, because this mother here, he tells her everything. Okay, that's inappropriate. They have no boundaries. He's not supposed to be talking to his mother about everything to do with you. Okay, see, the first time he did that, and I was there, I would have snatched the phone and said, if you want to know something about me, you ask me. You don't ask him. And I would have got her check in check too. We don't do that. And he gonna sit up there and tell her like a big ass bitch baby, whining and telling everything. That's this is bad. This is the kind of man he's probably like, if you get some kind of yeast infection or something, he gonna tell his mama. You start having all kind of problems, like you get pregnant or something, he gonna tell her the play by play of your personal things. It's going to get to the point where you can't even tell your husband stuff that you should be able to tell him because you know he's going to tell his mother. So then you're going to start it's going to create boundaries there. You're going to hide from him. There's going to be things that you don't tell him. So your intimacy, your emotional and mental intimacy with your husband is going to suffer from it because you don't want his mother knowing all your business. So you're not going to tell him. So your marriage is going to become icy and cold and like two strangers. I already know what's going to happen. I've seen it happen too many times. You cannot think that he's going to change. He's going to be like this. The way, this is it. This is it. This is him. Now, you don't like it. You say it's a turnoff. Do you think it's going to get any better? He's just going to have more to tell as you guys go on in your relationship. Get out now. He might be the good that he's, treats you well and all that stuff, but there's more to a relationship than that. And I know these people that talk about that stuff. Um, where they want to tell their mother stuff and they feel like it's a good thing if a guy has a good relationship with his mother. You know what? I disagree. I disagree. I think you shouldn't be looking at his relationship with his mother. You should look at how he treats women, period. Okay, his mother's just one of them. And you want to see respect, but you also want to see boundaries. And you want to see, him conducting himself as a man, as a gentleman, and protecting you. Okay, I don't care about that shit. I really prefer a man not to have a mother. Yeah, be a fucking orphan or something. I just, fall off the moon or something. I just don't like the mothers of the men I date. I don't like them. I don't like none of them. And so I don't want them to have a mother. That's the way I feel about it. But if you got a guy and he's all up in telling his mother everything like that, trust me, you can't have nothing that you tell him in confidence is going to stay a confidence. All of your business is going to be exposed. Everything. So if that's not the kind of relationship that you want, then you need to get out now while the getting is good. You're telling him everything. He's just like, guess what? Becky had a pimple on her butt. And it was so big, and mom's going to be like, really? Was it red? Was it a blackhead or a whitehead? Well, I had to squeeze it for her to get the stuff out because she couldn't get back there, and it was just really gross. That's how his relationship was with his mama. She had cramps, and it was really bad. She was rolling around on the floor, Mama. It was awful. I said, did you ever have cramps that bad? No, son, I didn't. But, that sounds horrible. See, no. Yeah, I know that's pretty gruesome, but you know what I mean. I'm just trying to use an example of what I'm talking about, the kind of stuff that he gonna tell. He gonna tell all your business, all of it, all of it. So you need to get away from that. I gotta stop the voices. I love my voices. But you guys, that's the show for today. I'm telling you, some of these letters were some doozies. I don't quite know what to do. Becky's pimple, that's right. We're going to have a couple of more weeks until February starts. I'm starting to do some of the recording. I'm doing some, the uploads. I'm going to be recording them in January. I'm doing everything different this time to take some of the stress off of me for February. I think I may be able to survive because usually I have to take a week or so off after February because I just be like laid out. I can't do nothing. And I think this time I'll be okay because I'm doing way, way better organization. Thanks, Flo Flo. But I, of course, appreciate everybody. I'm glad everybody's here and that you guys made it into 2021 safe and sound. I will see you. I might be trying to get in here on Thursday because Candace said we have a backlog of letters again. So we'll see. If not this Thursday, then maybe next Thursday. But I appreciate you guys all coming through. Let me see, where's my thing here? Thank you guys all coming through and sharing your wisdom and thoughts with the letter writers. Thanks, Lady Boss, for having my back. Thanks for all the Patreon subscribers and to the Super Chat donations today. I appreciate that too. I'll see y'all real soon, okay? Take care till I see you again. Bye bye.